I'm doing. Please help me. Hello, my name's Duncan and welcome to Back Away from Donkey and Bath Books. Well, this evening I was meant to be a cast on a desert island, but sadly Mr. Sandfast isn't very well, so best regards to him. Hope he gets better soon, but hopefully I will land on the island in a short while. But I thought I'd use the time and I'd record the next one of my bookshelves tours. I've got a few videos that I'm in the middle of recording. I was going to be doing a load tomorrow, but I thought I'd do this one first. So this is shelf number 5. I was meant to be doing them weekly, but sort of, it's when I do them, basically. So this shelf seems to be full of mainly novelisations by the looks of it in my sort out. So we will start off. A few here. I've got a pile there as well. So I'll start off with V. This is the original mini-series from 1980... When is it 1980 or 82? It's whenever the LA Olympics were on, which is I remember watching it. And this was done by Anne Crispin, who was a really good writer. She did some Star Trek stuff. Yesterday's Sun, she did one about Spock, which is really good. But no, it's a really, really solid book. Really well worth reading. And I've also got here East Coast Crisis, which was by Anne Crispin and Howard Weinstein, I'd heard of. But this actually, if you're into V, basically told the story on the other side of the other coast in America, and it's a really pretty good book. There's a few other books after that, but I've not read them, so I can't tell you how good or bad they are. But these two are solid books for adaptations and whatever you want to call them. So next we hit the main man himself, Miss Alan Dean Foster, probably my original version of Alien. So I'm just turning it because I've got lights because it's dark in here, so I'm making sure you can see them. And that is a really good adaptation because it's an Alan Dean Foster one. And then we've got Total Recall, and this was, let me turn it so the light's not in it. Piers Anthony did this. Obviously it's originally, the film is originally from the short story by Philip K. Dick, We Can Remember It For You Wholesale. So they did that, then they made the film, and then they adapted the thing. But yes, that's a bit weird, but it's actually, he's a solid writer, and there's some bits in here that aren't in the actual film, so it's actually not a bad one as they go. Okay. Then we go to the, probably was one of the first novelisations, though I did find out that there was one of a silent film, which I can't remember which one it was, but that's the King Kong one. Original King Kong one, which is Edgar Wallace and whoever. Then I've got another Alan Dean Foster one, Outland. What I love about the novelisations from the back in the 70s, early 80s is they always seem to have, as you know, this one actually hasn't, or has it? It has photos in the film in the middle. So like that, like the Star Wars ones have. So yep, and another Alan Dean Foster, The Black Hole. And the thing with the Black Hole one, more pictures in the middle. I remember buying this. We've got Bob. Everybody loves Bob. Old Bob. You don't have to wait for me, Bob. This makes the ending make a bit more sense. I like the film, but the ending is way out there. Way out there. But this actually tries to put some context to it, which actually works quite well. Then we've got to one I picked up a while ago, which I've never read yet, which is Meteor, which was a Sean Connery film. And Natalie Wood as well. I think it might have been, that wasn't her last film. But yeah, it's a disaster film, but not one of the best ones, but it's watchable. But Sean Connery. But novelisation, Edmund H. North. No idea who he is, but I picked that up a while ago. Now this, I love this film. Okay. This is Warlords of Atlantis, which I think film may be called something else in America. Doug McClure film. Good old Doug McClure. And Paul Victor was also a script writer. He wrote some scripts for Doctor Who. And I've not read this one yet, but I've heard that it does read a little bit like a Doctor Who episode, but I really like the film. And the music, I can't remember who did the music. The music is really good as well. And another, this is just a random one tie-in, a Lost tie-in, which I just was quite intrigued in, because I'm I like Lost. I even like the last series. People don't. Now, get a bit more random now. Not totally novelisations. Christmas on Ganymede, which is a collection of short stories all about Christmas, science fiction short stories, and it's got some really good ones in here. It's got, can't remember what. If you're ever looking for it, Asimov Christmas on Ganymede is a good one. Barry Maltzberg, The Falcon and the Falconer is good. John Christopher Roses, and Frederick Pohl, Happy Birthday Dear Jesus is good. But yeah, if you want some Christmas ones, and then I've got a few of these. Have I got them all? Yeah. I've got this. I think there's about 9 in the set, and I would love to get the complete set. I've got 3 of them, I think, maybe more. This is volume 1. This is Philip Joseph Farmer Dungeon, and this is volume 1, and that's volume 2. And what it is he created a idea of this weird dungeon in space that people explore, and basically it was then handed off to other writers to write stories around it, sort of a shared universe idea. This is volume 1, which is called The Black Tower, which is by Richard Lupoff, who's a pretty good writer. And volume 4 is called The Lake of Fire. I don't know who wrote that. Does it tell me who wrote The Lake of Fire? If anybody's read these, I'd like to know. I'm just trying to wait till I got the lot before I actually read them. Can't find out who wrote it. Robin Bailey, who I don't know who Robin Bailey is. Collection of Isaac Asimov's story, did a bunch of anthologies, and this one's Wizards. Lots of Wizard stories, which is pretty good. Yeah, some Jack Vance in here, Ron Goulart, Larry Niven, Sprag de Camp, Greg Bear. But yeah, nice collection. Then I've got, there's about 3 of these in this collection. This is novellas, Exiles by Ben Bova collection. It's got novellas, got Gypsy by Paul Amundsen, and Then There Were None by Eric Frank Russell, and Profession by Isaac Asimov. And this, I've got book 1 of this. This is Continuum. This is Roger Elwood, who did ridiculous amounts of anthologies and stuff. The Continuum ones, it's got some stuff in here. This has got the original version of Crystal Singer, but it's all, I think there's 4 of them. It's all done in parts, and it's quite different to Anne McCaffrey's published one, and that's why I was after these. And it's also got a really good Gene Wolfe Dark Side of the Dune, and a few other bits in there. But yeah, Roger Elwood. I have no idea what that creature is on the front. Hall of Fame novellas, Ben Bova. This goes with the Exiles one. I think there's 3 of them. This one was because I wanted Vintage Season by Cutler and C.L. Moore, which is, I've never read, but it's meant to be very, very good. I've been told it's well worth it, but it's one of these things I still never get around to. So now we've gone to some more. Another random sort of tie novel, Walking Dead, Rise of the Governor, which was written by, actually, it's got Robert Kirkman, who probably did the story. Jay Basinga was probably the person who did the actual physical writing, and I assume it's from his, Robert Kirkman's original idea. And then we get on to my collection of, well, I haven't got huge amounts of them, but I'm after loads of them. Buck Rogers. The rights for Buck Rogers in the late 80s, early 90s. Somehow TSR, the people who originally developed Dungeons and Dragons, ended up with the rights to Buck Rogers. So they published a load of books. And the first one was Arrival, which is a selection of stories. You've got M.S. Murdoch, Robert Sheckley, and Eureka O'Reilly. Then we've got another one, which is called Hamilton Mars, M.S. Murdoch. I love Buck Rogers. I think I'm going to have to do a video about him soon. I've got a lot of Buck Rogers stuff. And then a John Miller one, Powerplay. That's not all of them. I think there's about 5 of them that they did in this series. But yeah, weirdly TSR ended up with the rights, and they did a think they did a role-playing game with it as well. If anybody knows, tell me. I'm sure I remember reading it somewhere. And then we've got two, not tied into anything, Alistair Reynolds. I've never read any Alistair Reynolds, but I picked this one up, I think. Century Reign, which I told was a good one-off to start, but I've never got round to reading it. And I've also got Ringworld in the same set, because these are some more done by Orbiters. I don't know why they did a load of these weird black and white sets that I've ended up with. Who knows? So now we come on to the next lot. World War III. Might hit a clue. This was a mini-series with David Soul in early 1980s, and I quite like this book. This was the adaptation of it, and it was all about the Russians going over. You got to think this was in the middle of the end of the Cold War. It was all about the Russians going over Alaska to get to to get into the pipeline, and it was a pretty good miniseries. I've got a copy of it. They're not in the best of conditions because it wasn't never officially released, so it was somebody's VHS copy of a copy. But this is the novelisation of it, which I've not read in years, but I remember being pretty good. And I was speaking to somebody recently about this, and they went off and got it, but I can't remember who I was speaking to. It'll come to me later. My brain's a bit addled today. And then we've got another anthology. There's quite a few anthologies here. Year's Best Science Fiction 7, Harry Harrison and Brian Aldiss. I think this is the one I picked up. I picked this one up because it's got a copy of Rollable Murder in it. But I've actually got the original book of Rollable Murder now, which has got all these other things in there. But that was one of the few places you could find it. There's some other really good ones in there. Thomas Dish, The Birds, is really good, and R.A. Lafferty books. But yes, that was the original reason I picked up that one, because it was one of the few places that was published. And if you ever get a chance to read Rollable Murder, you should read it. It is grim, it is brutal, it is really, really good. This year's Best Sci-Fi 9. It's in the same series as Harry Harrison and all this one. And there's actually a Christmas one here, Santa Claus Compromise, Thomas Dish. I need to sit down. Really, I said, I've been doing the past few months, I think I've done them a couple of weeks, but been doing some stuff on short stories, which I'm going to continue doing because I'm really into those at the moment. This one I picked up because of the silly, weird cover, because I don't know what the hell is going on here. Edited by Kenneth Bulmer, who is very, very prolific. And it's Sci-Fi 27, New Writings in Sci-Fi, in SF. I call it sci-fi because it annoys the outlaw bookseller. Sorry. Vera Johnson, Keith Wells, which name rings a bell to me. Brian Aldiss, who gets everywhere. Peter Linkett, Dave Langford, who used to be the editor of, was it White Dwarf magazine or Magic magazine? One of the two. Graham Charnock, Colin Happ. It's where you get to hear about some more obscure people from the sort of 70s and 80s. This was published in, find out, 1975. It was a good year. A year before it got ridiculously hot. Another one of the Dungeons books. This is volume 3. I do like the covers. They are just really quite obscure. I don't know who did the covers. This is called The Valley of Thunder, this one. Charles Lint. And I've got a stick on the back I can't get off because it was from the second-hand place I got it from. So it can go the wrong way. I may have shown that dungeon one before because I may have gone around in circles. So I've got piles of books here. There's piles I've not shown you. I don't know what I'm doing. Please help me. I might have to edit that out or something and see what have you. Next one is that there was bunches, about 9 or 10 of them, Battlestar Galactica books from the original series following up. And this is the Cylon Death Machine, which is number 2. And I've got here my original novelisation of the film TV series, because the film was, we even have one of the pictures in there, because in the UK the film got the pilots the first 2 episodes was re-edited and got a theatrical release. Double billed it with Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, and I went to the cinema to see them both like that. War Games, David Bischoff, fantastic film, great, pretty good book. Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom novelisation. What bit's in the middle? Who wrote the Indiana Jones one? James Caan. James Caan wrote the Return of the Jedi one as well. So he was on there. Buck Rogers book. Buck Rogers 2, That Man on Beta. This was from the TV series with Gil Gerard, but this was basically a script that they never made into a episode. And I've not read it for years. I remember it being okay. Might have to go back to this. Only 3 more books to go. This is National Lampoon's Dune. And this one, the front cover is by Bruce Pennington, who did the cover for Children of Dune. And basically or is it Dune Messiah? Anyway, it's an adaptation of that, which I love. Not read this, I was given this last year for Christmas from a good friend. But it's worth having for that cover. And I was also given the same thing, King Kong, My Side. A funny thing happened to me on the way to the Empire State Building. As you may have heard, here is the whole story. I'm going to read that soon, I think. And also from the same pile of books that my friend sent me, Perry Rhodan, number 1, most popular science fiction series in the world ever. Perry Rhodan, which is German, and this is number 1 of the English British editions, and I will get around to it. And then one final book, an anthology, After the King, which is basically sort of tribute to Tolkien's stories in honour of Tolkien. And we've got Paul and Karen Anderson, John Brunner, Charleston Lint, Stephen Donaldson, Craig Shaw Gardner, Patricia McKillip, Andre Norton, Terry Pratchett, Robert Silverberg, Jane Yolen. Some of the stories you may have seen elsewhere, but some of them were written specifically for this collection. A quick look, see what any stories I know, because I can't remember. There we go. Reeves the Just, which is one of Stephen Donaldson's whole story. Trollbridge by Terry Pratchett. In a Season of the Dancing of the Wells by John Brunner. The Fellowship of the Dragon, Patricia McKillip. Harry Turtledove, The Decoy Duck. Conjureman, Charles DeLeaf. The Halfling House, Dennis McEwen. Down by the River Road, Gregory Benford. Yes, so quite a few contributors. I think in my short story thing, I must get onto one of these ones. So yeah, that's it. That's shelf 5. Which I said, I did a post on my community thing about how I should organise my books, because I'm obviously logging them. And I think the most popular one was do it by genre, and then alphabetically in genre. But then you get confusing, because I was thinking, well, maybe I should do novelisations count as their own, and tie-ins count as their own genre. I don't know, it all gets too confusing, doesn't it? But anyway, that's me done for the moment. I will leave you all, and hopefully that was not too confusing, and you may have seen something there like, I'll be back soon with something a bit more substantial, and have a good evening, and best wishes to Sean, which hopefully he'll be back ruling the island with an iron fist very soon, and I will speak to you all very soon. Bye for now.